know what it is that you're doing exactly. You know, you don't need to have this foolproof, step-by-step outline plan of exactly what you're going to do with your life for the next year, 5 years, 10 years life. You know, as someone who's been in the entrepreneurial space now for nearly 3 years, it's such a big topic within hustle culture, really, that we have to have our whole dream life planned out step by step, detail by detail. And I would definitely subscribe to that belief for a long time myself. I would sit and really get detailed about every single step and every single action that I would take that would get me closer to my goal. I would sit there and really create this plan of, first do this, then do that, and even do it perfectly in order to get what you want. But you don't need to know what you're doing. It's this false notion that anyone really has it figured out in life it's ridiculous. It's an illusion, really, and I definitely subscribed to that illusion for so long until I had just stepped back and realized that none of us know what we're doing. This may be a little ridiculous, but we really are just floating on a rock, really. None of us know why we're here, really. No one has it figured out. You can see the most successful people who've found everything they wanted in their lives, whether it's love, money, success, whatever, None of those people have it figured out. None of those people know what they're doing, really. They might have a plan, they might have some sort of direction, right? You definitely need that, especially as an entrepreneur and as someone who is, if you're trying to create something for yourself and you know what it is that you want, that's important, right? To have that vision. But this notion of knowing exactly what you have to do every single day, plan everything out step by step, what you're really doing is ultimately creating more resistance. When we want something, right, when we're trying to manifest something into our lives, whether it's, our dream career, money, finance, love, health, whatever, we often forget this idea that one of the most important parts of, really manifestation and creating anything that you want for yourself in this life is that this letting go of control. This surrender to, the universe, God, whatever, that, hey, I believe that it's going to happen, I'm going to take inspired action towards it, and I'm going to leave everything in the hands of the universe, everything else. It's this letting go of control that's so pivotal and so important to actually creating your desires physically in front of you, to actually align with them physically, is this letting go and surrender. And when we have this step-by-step plan, when we have this foolproof plan of everything we have to do and everything that needs to be accomplished in order for, our big goal to be accomplished, we're not letting go of the control, really the illusion of control, but we're not letting go of it. When you're not letting go, you're creating more resistance. When you're the one who needs everything in your life to go step by step by step by step perfectly in order to get your end result, you're still the one who's controlling everything. And so how are you expecting for something else to change, for something new to come upon you, for whatever, manifestation, miracle, whatever it is that you want, if you're holding on to control so badly and you only know everything that you've ever experienced? Ultimately, it's impossible for you to be able to bring that into your life if you're controlling it so stringently. Is that a word? No one on this planet has it figured out. Every single day we wake up, we have 24 hours, and every single person on this planet does something with them. But there's no right way to do things, and there's no wrong way to do things because we don't know. We don't have communication with God directly. Hey, tell me what's exactly the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do, because, consider this. This is one of the most pivotal, really, ideas that came upon me, or really I must have heard it somewhere. Think of every good decision you've ever had in your life. Like, really good decision you've made. And then think about all of the potential bad things that came with it afterward. Had you not made that great decision, those poor things wouldn't have happened after. And it works the other way as well. Think of every, potential bad decision that you've made in your life. How many amazing things happened from it that would not have happened had you made that, allegedly wrong decision? I bet you could think of millions. Maybe not millions, but a whole bunch. And so this really kind of dispels this notion of what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad, because everything is so intertwined and connected, and ultimately there is no good or bad. You're either aligned with what you want, or you're aligned with something else, and you're going to get whatever it is that you're aligned with. It's that simple, When we're making these step-by-step plans, in this hustle culture, in this entrepreneurial culture, grind culture, we so often forget the most blissful part of life, which is just being present and aware. This is definitely a trap that I fell into while I was, deep in my hustle, is constantly reflecting on the past and constantly thinking about the future. And those are good things to do, right? Definitely don't disregard them and just live presently, which is amazing. But if you're really trying to create something, definitely reflect on your past. Think about the future. These are not things that you should ignore, but understand that the past doesn't exist. The future will never exist. All we ever have is this present moment now. So all those plans you have, trying to figure out exactly what you're trying to do, exactly what you should be doing, you don't have to have anything figured out, let alone everything. You don't need to know what you're doing right now, because all you ever have is this present moment. Your whole life is just the present moment. And there's no problems in the present. There's not a single problem in the present moment. If you really sit with yourself right now and just become aware of everything around you, the smells, the colors, the wind, your body, everything in this moment, and you really become present, every single problem, anxiety, or obstacle in your mind, because that's really where it exists, only in your mind, they disappear. There are no longer any problems. So really, it's a stretch to say, but there's really no problems in life at all. If your life is only the present moment, and there are no problems in the present moment. All these so-called problems in our lives are completely and utterly in our mind, and completely and utterly also produced by our over-reflection of the past or overthinking of the future. Again, definitely reflect on the past, think about the future. These are important things when you're trying to figure out what direction to go in, what lessons you've learned, where to kind of pivot. Don't sit in the backseat of your life. Definitely take your life at the wheel, right? This great analogy about your life where so many people are kind of drifting and floating and sitting in the back seat of this car that is their life. Get in the driver's seat. Choose what you want. Take direction in where you want to go, but it's this beautiful balance of knowing where you're going, kind of knowing what it is you're generally doing, but at the same time, it's not that serious, and at the same time, you're just surrendering. Whatever it is that you want, you already know it's coming if you believe it. Like, it's that simple. It really, really, really is that simple. So if you already believe it's coming to you and it's already here and you just have to align yourself, then just let go. Because if you have this step-by-step plan and this notion that you have to have it all figured out, then what you're really telling yourself is that you don't believe that you can do it. You don't believe that you can have it until X, Y, and Z, until you accomplish this, until you accomplish that. And so then you don't really believe 100%. This is something I found myself doing for a long, long time. I believed I could have the result, but I didn't really believe I could have it until something happened, until I accomplished something, until I changed myself in some type of way. This destination addiction of, oh, everything will be fine when we get to this place or when we have this thing. It's so easy to fall into that trap and understand that all of this, everything that I'm saying, is just coming back to this beautiful present moment where there are no problems and there is no control. Just, you don't need to know what you're doing. If you have your life, to some degree figured out, if you kind of know the direction you're going, if you have, this motivation, this drive to take action towards a certain direction, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's inspired action, But to really be negative on yourself and to really hurt yourself mentally and spiritually more than anything with this notion of I have to figure this out or, I'm going to be a loser for the rest of my life, it's hurting you deeply, because understand that you don't need to have it figured out, because nobody does. Your idol, your role model, whoever it is that you look up to, whether it's in person, your parents, a celebrity, whatever, nobody has it figured out. Like, really, at the end of the day, really, truly, we're all just on a floating rock. None of us know why we're in this human meat suit with this brain in our heads. None of us know. So this notion of I have to be successful and make this money or else, says who? Says the person who dedicated his life to making money. That person doesn't know what he's doing any more than the person who is broke. Truth be told. Right? Definitely have some type of direction. I mean, not that you need to, but if you have it, that's great. But this notion that so many of us have this need to have it all figured out, it's ridiculous, it's unnecessary, and truth be told, just come back to the present moment. It's all you ever have. It is all you ever have. There are no problems here. Come join us in the present moment. Thank you very much. This is Julia. This is Passion Movement Podcast. And I'll see you guys soon.